This video is for and directed to, in a positive light, in a positive manner and way, whatnot, for the actress by the name of Joyce DeWitt, who played the part of Three's Company's Janet Wood. The one that was the florist that went over to various other things in between, and the one I know that seemed to many that was a bit closer to John Ritter than the other two. Although the one thing was and is that John Ritter considered both of them a close personal friend, even outside the stage. Heated lights and such like that. The one thing I do know that Joyce DeWitt, being a child and a child of the 70s, a young child of the 70s, I remember watching Three's Company, a good number of the episodes. Be that, of course, practically the whole entire episode as I got older. Every episode as I got older, anyway. But I do remember one episode that was not mentioned on the 40th anniversary of Three's Company, put together by Antenna TV. Being, of course, Fox 40.2, essentially, if you want to go to the digital converter box aspect of things and whatever it may be for LA and whatnot, I don't know, but I'm just saying from Fox 40.2, for the area that I'm pretty much in right now. I do remember the one episode that was not mentioned and was not shown, at least when I gather it was not shown, or even mentioned for that matter, is that you on your part that you took a dance class. Of course, Janet Wood took a dancing class or ballet class, whichever the case. It might have been a dancing class. Aspects anyway. It got to the point as to where the male dancing instructor came on to you, the character, directly, of course, but and granted, I know that was the whole part of the episode, or at least a good part of it anyway. And you denied him on his coming on to you, essentially. Therefore, he said that he doesn't believe that you would make it in the dancing world, or something to that aspect. It could have been that exactly directly, without mincing words, of course. But anyway, and you said the fact that of him not being a true, actual human being, be that, of course, the way he went towards you was, and what he vocalized towards you was chauvinistic. Okay, I know that, even for its time. And then, at one point, when you were about to bawl out in tears, not, whatever, but you were emotionally stricken in deeper ways than one, I'm sure. But then when John Ritter as Jack Tripper came over towards you, then you said, "Well, I know you're going to say this. I know you're going to say that. This, that, and the other, whatever." And John Ritter as Jack Tripper said, "Janet, I wasn't going to say that." And what he said what he was going to say was, "May I have this dance?" And you both danced with him. I mean, that right there, he said it in such a way that it was care, love, respect, concern, and it was more than 100% genuine. That right there is pure John Ritter as well. I mean, literally, that was pure Ritter. I mean, yeah, any actor could have done it, but not the way Ritter did it. Everybody has their own style, but the other part of it is that John Ritter had set it in such a way that it resonated. Literally, it resonated. Okay, it resonated not only maybe not only through the audiences watching in the studio, but it also resonated right through those who were watching the episode. That, among many other things, that he will be remembered for and by. I know that. Again, I'm not blaming you. I'm not mad or nothing. Just to let you know, I'm just saying that's one thing that was not mentioned about it. Aside from the fact that the hammock stunt that he did, and the the fact that he had a plant pot over his head with a plant growing, and while he did that basic dance stunt that he did in one other episode, right? Um, but that one particular one that I mentioned, I believe it was before or before they wrote out um, Suzanne Summers as Chrissy Snow, and before they wrote out the Ropers being Norm and the other one. Although I can't remember her name offhand, if you please forgive me on that. But anyway, I do remember that right that one particular episode when he said, "May I have this dance?" and he danced with you. That and where you embraced him and danced with him, that was pure John Ritter. And each time I think about it, even when I vocalize it, I get a little choked up. I do understand why um, the actor that played Larry. I understand why he's not able to watch the sitcom anymore, even after Ritter's passing. And I do understand if any other person's not able to as well. And I do know that with the comic styles of Don Knotts, the late great Don Knotts as well, and Norm as Mr. Furley, and then the one Norm as Mr. Roper. Um, I know they had their own particular comedic style, and they kind of timed perfectly as well. But the one thing though, I do know that John Ritter, even as a character, Jack Tripper considered both you and the other of the actresses of the one that played Terry and the one that played Chrissy Snow's cousin or sister or whatever that lived on the farm, according to the storyline anyway. That moved in with you and essentially knocked you and Jack, John Ritter in the head, sometimes with doors, what have you. Which I understand that was part of the whole skit. I do know that in Ritter's own way that that he considered both of you really dear, close friends of his, both on and off set, on and off the stage. And I know he considered the one that played Larry as a close friend as well as the other cast members of Three's Company. Even the one that played Lana. The one other aspect I know that this whole thing was happening even during the ERA, the march, which I supported as an advocate because I'm advocating in my own way. And of course, I have many videos on YouTube informing people of the truth in my own perspective. But you know, the one thing though too is that I do remember you having various other emotional aspects, even with Suzanne Summers as Chrissy Snow and the other two women. I do know that you spoke fondly of Norm and the one that played Mrs. Roper, as well as the one that played Mr. Furley, which is Don Knotts, and many others. But and I do know that you have you're close to the one that played Larry. Of course, I know that. But I think that there is a way that the one that played Larry could watch it with. Although I'm not going to force it upon him. I know there's ways both of you could watch the sitcom together. And I'm not going to be I'm not saying I'm an expert, but it could be one way of a psychological, metaphysical, metaphorical, or metaphysical, or some sort of psychiatric aspects of where he doesn't really have to put himself into the character that he played, even while watching it, right? But I mean, I'd say that he'd be able to do it in such a way that he would feel that Ritter's with you guys, because I know Ritter will always be with every one of you, as he was in the living body and soul. He will be with you even from within here. With that should be one positive comfort right there. I'm not going to say it's easy, because almost practically nothing's that easy. Although there are certain things that are easy that people try to claim that's not. But the only way those things would not be is if you allowed it to be. You know. I have wondered, though, even before Ritter's passing, would there have been a reunion show? I know it's more than a bit too late for that. But the one thing I know is that in the beginning, I found that you and Ritter were possibly the closest compared to everyone. cast members. But at the same time, as I got older, though, I noticed that he was close to you, equal to the other ones. Although he may have been closer to you, even while he was doing even before he did 8 Simple Rules, the other sitcom, that he may have had more interactions with you. Although I know it was said that his current wife, his current widow, essentially, with the one little girl, the redhead, anyway, that it took her to have it where that Suzanne Summers and Ritter were able to reunite off stage. Of course, this was several years after Three's Company. Several years after Three's Company, and maybe about a year and a half or so before 8 Simple Rules or something, right? So essentially, I mean, with all the craziness that went on even behind the scenes, it was shown that even to Suzanne Summers that all was forgiven, all was forgotten. Maybe not 100% forgotten, but forgiven nonetheless. But at the same time, even with all the craziness that happened with the situation with the show and Suzanne Summers, it was basically, I know, hectic and whatnot, and almost it almost totally unbalanced things within the casting, I'm sure, but I think aside from that, with all this, after all the smoke cleared, that in Ritter's own way, he still cared for her, though, and even as a close friend as well. There's many things you could see there's many things that a viewer, a television sitcom viewer, could see within each sitcom that they watch. Whether there's like a positive, emotional, caring, loving connection between the two characters that the actors and actresses play with each other on the same set. With you and Ritter, though, I think with you and Joyce DeWitt and John Ritter, I think even in sitcom history, though, it may be seen that and being said that that you and him were the closest compared to everybody else. But to me, though, he may have been closer to you in the other viewer's perspective, right? But I think he was closer to everybody he worked with on the show of Three's Company. I don't mean to make this long, but I thought I'd bring that out. And if you want to talk, we can talk either via Facebook or Facebook Messenger, essentially, or Google Hangout chat. Or maybe email if you wanted to, depending. But of course, I would need to know how to reach you in the sense of the email. where it wouldn't be public, going public, essentially, if you get what I'm saying, even on the comment section. But if you want to talk, and if the one that played Larry wants to talk, the one that played the other two women want to talk as well, I'm more than open. Seriously, I am. Because ever since I was a kid, that show has been part of my childhood, and it will forever be part of my childhood. It's going to be a part of me no matter where I am, no matter where I go, no matter what. Seriously, and so will you, Joyce DeWitt. Even though I don't know you, and I don't know John Ritter, even personally. I don't know any of the actors or actresses personally. I only know of what I hear of them and what I see of them and what have you. But I do think that I do feel strongly about what I said, though, is that John, the part where he asked you to dance with him, by saying, "May I have this dance?" After he said, Janet, I didn't say, I wasn't coming here to say all that. Yeah. Then he added, after you said, "Then what?" Right? Essentially, what you said in your own way. Then what? Essentially, then he said, "I came here to say, may I have this dance?" Essentially, right? That is pure Ritter. Emotionally, psychologically, intellectually, pure Ritter. Pure John Ritter. I was able to see that even as a kid. I didn't fully understand it when I was younger, but as I got older and as I watched the episode more and more, and as I got to know Ritter's style of acting and comedic whatnot, right? And it was also when I got to know yours as well, and many others on the show. Besides a little bit of Don Knotts from what I knew from him from the Andy Griffith show and whatnot, even though I know that was way before my time. Of course, the Andy Griffith show was before my time, that is. But nonetheless, I thought I'd bring that, and I don't know, I'm not trying to make you upset or sad again, but I thought I'd put that out there. Because I do, I don't know. I mean, Joyce DeWitt. The one thing though is that I just felt making this video, aside from writing you, with the fact that I felt that it was important to put that out of the way John Ritter was. I mean, John Ritter was many positive things. I know that, but that one particular episode that I mentioned again on this video was absolute pure Ritter. Outside of the comedic aspect, it was genuine, emotional, intellectual, positively intellectual, and it was really heartfelt. One thing, never forget that. I will never forget that. I will never forget many things, as much as I can, anyway, too. But even outside the sitcom, the company, I'll try not to forget a lot of things. But I think maybe if the more people remember that. Be that, of course, the cast members of the Three's Company to start with. And I may make another one directly for the other cast members. But I would have to go through the episodes to see which ones he did the close interactions as much as he did with you, if at all. Which I'm not going to say he did or didn't, although it was probably depending on how the way they wanted it to go, on each episode. But it's a good thing that they did allow it to be the way it was in that one episode I mentioned on this video. And like I said, Joyce DeWitt, if you want to talk, I'm here. Please stay safe, and please know that John Ritter is with you and every one of the other cast members, including the cast members of 8 Simple Rules. And I know he's with me in a way as well, within my heart, as will you be, and any other cast members of Three's Company, and 8 Simple Rules as well. Have a good day. And like I said, I'm here if you want to talk.